Right viewers, so here we are, the National Motor Museum at Beaulieu. I've not actually filmed around the museum for quite a number of years. I think the last time I did was in 2020. So I decided to come down. It's only about 35 minutes from where we live, so I thought I'd have a look around to see if anything's actually changed. First of all, I can see that the bus is still here. The bus actually was made, I think, in 1972. It's a replica of a bus from the 1920s. But number plates is a dead giveaway. I think it's based on a Ford truck of some description. But it is quite good fun. I've been on it before. But yes, it is. It's one of these things which actually looks very interesting. Right. Now that the main entrance seems to be closed because they're putting a new exhibit in. Maybe I should have come here a bit later for you, but it's a February. Thursday, so it's not actually kind of very busy here. Here we go. Exciting new project. At least it means we'll get around here quicker. So we'll start off with the on-screen car. While Top Gear, of course, used to be here. That was closed some time ago. We'll take a look inside the on-screen cars exhibition. I think there'll still be some in here that aren't to do with Top Gear. Oh, the BMW Zeta from 1962 was used in Heartbeat. Can't say I'm a very big expert on Heartbeat, really. Next, we've got one of the Reliant Regal supervans that was used in Only Fools and Horses. I believe there were several of them used. This is one of the screen-used ones. Is that Harry Potter music, viewers? There we go, quite a late one actually, Supervan 3, 7273 registration. Then one of the minis used in Mr. Bean. There have been tons and tons of these used, absolutely loads of them. I think this is a 1977 car, from memory. Still got the padlock on the driver's door. At the time of filming in the early 90s, for most episodes of Mr. Bean, obviously these are really cheap. You get one for, I don't know, £100 or something if you really want to do. Next we've got this 1996 Volvo 850 S Estate. It's used in Gavin and Stacey. I've actually seen this car do these kind of stunts and things like that, driving on two wheels. I saw it at Santa Pod a while ago. I think there have been two of these used in the series. 2.5 10 valve, I think that would be, in the S trim, which was around a base model, so cloth interior. Next, we've got something which, at the time of Gavin and Stacey started, would not have been a very expensive car, but this 2000 Citroen Saxo VTS is actually quite valuable now. The VTS was the top of the Saxo range, which is a facelifted car from 2000. Actually, that's in really nice condition. I've seen the Volvo before, as I said. It was at Santa Pod for some years and used in stunts, but I've not seen that. Next you've got the, what's the Mr. Bean music? This is from the title sequence, anything above the sort of first episode of Mr. Bean, by Howard Goodall. Next we've got Bessie from the John Pertwee era of Doctor Who. Well, Bessie does appear in other eras as well. I mean, appeared in the Five Doctors in 1983, for example. The car is actually, I think, a Seaver Edwardian is the name of the kit. It was based on an old Ford Popular when Ford Popular was relatively common. It's one of the newest series Daleks. Not really my sort of era of Doctor Who, personally. There we go. It's a gold Dalek from the series with Chris Eccleston, isn't it? So this is a 1954 Ford Popular in this kind of interesting body. I think it was built around the time that they were filming the first season with John Pertwee. Would be about 1969. Here we go. Another Dalek there. And then the Jaguar XKR from Die Another Day. The less said about Die Another Day, the better. Although the car's quite interesting. And then one of the anglers used in Chamber of Secrets. This is a 1966 car. It's a deluxe model. You can tell immediately it's a deluxe because of the full width grille. The earlier base spec anglers did not get a full width grille at the front. They're quite rare. Most of them were deluxes like this, and of course this is now absolutely iconic. What that's worth, I don't know. So this is a brand new exhibition. I think it was opened last year. It's called We Had One of Those. It's a little bit like the Great British Car Journey in that respect. We'll start off with this Hillman Supermix. I've actually driven one of these. I drove a left-hand drive one in 2024, I think it was. This is how do they call these? Let's get this right. Series 4, I think it was. Because of course you've got the later rear end. You'll have to get inside the cars, and so I shall. I shall get inside this Hillman Supermix. There we go. We've actually got air control on and off. Quite a few people have been here, haven't they? The carpet's all moved, right? It's not a bit slammed at all. Gosh, it's very nice in here, considering this is from about 65, 66, this particular one. Unfortunately, the veneer seems to be coming off the dash. If only the one I'd actually driven was a right-hand drive, would have been easier for me, but never mind. They're actually reasonably easy to drive for a car of this era. They were known for being pretty nice, actually, these Supermixes back in the day. Although it's a very different experience from driving something modern. 70s Beetle. When I was quite young, we had a childminder who had one of these. About this sort of era, red one. Oh, someone's actually removed the door handle on there. Can we actually not get in that door? So, the problem is that with things like this, you just kind of have them around, and I think people have been moving things. 1500 would have been a relatively posh model of Beetle at the time. So can we actually get inside at all? Maybe it's been completely disabled. Oh yes, we can. There we go, viewers. Just reach inside and pull the handle like the old days. Gosh, it's so basic in here. It's just nothing. It's absolutely nothing at all. You're kind of lucky if you get a radio. Crazy. Let's look at this Land Crab. It was a bit sort of busy when we were here earlier on. Austin 1800. I have driven one of these. It was a Mark II version from 1968. Was the one I drove. This is also a Mark II. It's very similar to the one I drove. It was not this colour, a different colour. One thing I noticed in here, just to say on this car, this car I think it's got inertial wheel seat belts, but without the inertial wheel seat belts, they're an absolute pain. Yeah, inertial wheel seat belts, excellent. Also, if you're sitting in here, you kind of this enormous steering wheel, a comically large steering wheel. The driving position is not particularly good. It's not ideal, really. The gearbox also is a bit lumpy. But look at the use of space in here. Absolutely astonishing amount of space for a car this size. Alicus Agonis was an absolute genius in terms of packaging a car, even if it meant it didn't necessarily drive the best. Brilliant. Right, something a little bit new. It says 70s on here, but this is actually a 1980 to 81 car. It's a Legro 3, and they came in right at the end of 79. 1.3L. I've driven several of these actually. One was a 74, one was a 79 Estate, and one was a Vanden Plas version. 1.3L was pretty much a typical specification at the time. There's the what would become the Austin Rover logo on this, which came in in late 79. This strip up here is probably going to make it difficult to see out, but apart from that, it's pretty good. Look at that. I remember that hazard switch from things like Minis. Choke lever, of course. They're actually much better to drive than you'd expect. I've driven several of them and I don't really think they're that bad. I've driven worse stuff. I mean, the Yugo Sama I had recently on my channel was pretty bad. Then we've got this 1983 Vauxhall Cavalier. I've actually driven this car. I drove it in 2023. This actual car, yeah, I recognize the registration number. It's a 1.6L automatic. And it's in really nice original condition. A friend of mine used to own this. It's called Dave. And yeah, it's actually a full review on my channel. Well, this is why you see the car appearing in the thumbnail, because I've driven this. It's that actual car. I've driven this. It's very low mileage, and these things go stupidly fast. I don't know why. About 90 horsepower. Someone's broken off a wiper stalk, which isn't too much fun. Gosh, every time you get in, it sort of starts playing music. It's quite disturbing, actually. Manual choke, sort of cliff-face dash and things. Mark II Cavaliers are fabulous cars to drive. I don't know why, they just sort of are. If this had been a manual, it would have been even faster, but even this automatic is quick. Very quick. Next we've got this very nice Capri 3-litre gear, which would have been before 1981, when the gear and the S were discontinued for the V6 engine cars. I thought all the gears had vinyl rigs, but I'm recently been informed they haven't. You can see the seats are different in here from an S. The S would have the sort of collar check interior. This has got the sort of Type 4 gearbox or Type N gearbox. I forget. I have driven one of these with a 2.8 injection, which is a little bit later in 82. But yeah, absolutely superb. Also, sort of skipping forward a little bit, we go straight onto the Mondeo. Yeah. This is a GLX, which was a typical specification for lots of people. I prefer a gear personally. I have driven a gear on my channel, but this sort of era. This car is in absolutely lovely condition. Unfortunately, it seems to be locked, which is a shame. You can just see through the window there the amazing 90s fabric, which we'll also probably see in both the 405 over there and the K11 Micra. K11 Micra is still not particularly expensive cars. I've driven a few of these, only one on my channel, but this is a... I'd like to say this is the first facelift one, but I'm not actually sure. So it's typical jazzy interior inside here. This door's working, that's good. Got electric window, that's dead fancy. These cars just keep going. A little bit it rusts away. The engines are really, really dependable in these. Yeah, I think it's a first facelift one, which would be 98 or later. Second facelift occurred in 2000. Someone's had to go at the OBD2 port there. Look at the way the electric windows are arranged like that. Next we've got a lovely looking Peugeot 405. Facelifted one, I think facelift was 1992. Oh, it's an auto. Oh, and it's got a wood and aircon. This is a GTX or something. Oh, yes. Oh, this is fabulous views. I want this. Oh, I love this colour as well. Oh, viewers. Oh, viewers. We like 405s. We like them very, very much, viewers. Paint's a bit crazed on that, but apart from that, that looks fabulous. Next, we've got this Avantime. It is Avantime, not Avantime. There's a bit of a sort of brochure for the Velocity Avantime. Let's try this door. The door mechanism is incredibly complicated. That's about it. You don't get any further than that. That's all you get. Getting it out for a kind of a three-door car looks actually pretty easy. Yeah. These are pretty rare. They didn't make a lot of them at all. Really not a lot. I think the production run was 2001 to 2003, and then Matra, who were actually making them on behalf of Renault, they kind of went bust because they weren't making enough of them because they were too expensive and weird. And nowadays, everybody loves them. I'm not surprised. And of course, here's a Mark 1 Focus 1.6. Z-Tech, which is the most popular trim of the time. I've driven several of these actually. Let's have a look at the front end and see if this is a facelift. Yeah, it's a facelift, so it is a 2000. I think a facelift was had in 2001. But its biggest rival at the time really was the Mark 4 Golf. Here we go. This is a 2002, and I shouldn't be filming it with because it's got an engine we can't talk about on this channel. Oh, look at this Fiesta from the early 90s. It was Mark 3. Is that a 4-speed gearbox? Oh yeah. So this is like an Olympus special edition. This is, wow, very basic. They're still not that expensive actually, these Fiestas particularly. Oh, that door doesn't work. That door doesn't work. Oh dear. Does this door work? No. Never mind, viewers. How about a Morris Minor? Forget the name of this colour. This is the colour that my mother's one was actually. Hers is 58. This is after 1965 because of R64 because of the steering wheel. Brilliant. Well, that's a good start, isn't it, viewers? So we've come to a different part of what we normally would do because we've had to come in a different way. There we go, look at that. Little Isetta from 1962, another one Isetta. I've seen a heartbeat one already. A lot of these cars have been in the collection for a long time. This building opened in 1972 and the museum opened in the 1950s. 1964 Peel P50, of course. Very famous now. 1966 Austin A40 Countryman. This one, yeah, there we go. Just love the larger engine, the 1.1. People say I should have a go on one of these, but I'm terrified of the brakes. I've heard they're terrible. Oh yeah, beautiful 1963 Ford Consul Cortina. The museum's had this for a really, really long time. It's because this is just a 1.2 with 50 horsepower, old Kent engine. Then we've got this Morris Minor 600 weight van, this is 1970. Lots and lots of them used for post office purposes. The early ones had rubber wings on them. Very, very early Land Rover, one of the first here, 1948. Then an AC Invacar as opposed to Invacar Limited. It looks very, very similar. Obviously, many of you will be very familiar with these. Next we'll have a look at this Triumph Herald here. This is a 1960, so it'll have one of the less powerful engines in it. Very attractive styling by Michelotti. Yeah, 34.5 horsepower. Lots and lots of different variants on this chassis. Spitfires, GT6s, Vitesses, all sorts of things. Standard Vanguard. This is a 1951. This is the sort of beetle black they used to call this sort of design. Very sort of upright looking thing. .68 horsepower from 2.1 litres. It's Phase 1 Vanguard. Rover 110. This is a very late P4. They were made between 62 and 64, these Rover 110s, along with the Rover 95. I've driven a Rover 100, which is sort of similar. It's a 63. Then we've got the Austin 38, 35 van. Let's have a look at the front to see exactly which one it is, because I always forget about these. They're very difficult to tell apart unless you really know what you're looking for. It's a 3561, so they made these till, well, what was it, 1968. This is the Wallace and Gromit series, features one of these two. And this really weird thing, this is a Morris Commercial Mobile Shop from 1951. Let's get back a bit so we can see that properly. I wonder where Daniels and Sons is. Wow. Oh, it's in Norfolk. It's a striking little thing, isn't it? Oh, keep left, bollard. This exhibit's in a completely different place from last time we came. They've actually moved the whole thing into this central section here. Normally it's on the right hand side. This is Jack Tucker's garage. That side here we've got this 1926 Austin 20 horsepower breakdown truck. Just go and have a look. It's absolutely incredible. Look at this. It's a bit like going to the what's it called? The Automotive Museum. That's it. This is a bit like this. Look at that, a 1923 Calcott. Never really heard of this car before.
And it would probably have remained out back, slowly being stripped for spare parts.
103 years old, viewers. 103 years old. It's got old petrol pumps here.
The onset of war in 1939 was a turning point.
Amazing. Let's go down this way. Austin 7 Swallow from 1931. Some really old stuff. Gobon Brie fire engine. How on earth they get that in here? Bugatti Type 15. Look at the size of that. It's a tiny little thing. Vista Dion Bouton. I think this is one of the original cars that launched the museum. Yes, it was in 1952. The cars were actually housed inside Palace House, which is just there. We're not going to go down there today. That's where the original collection started, with Lord Montague. Early Austin 7, that's a 1923. It's one of the first ones.
That's old, chatterbox.
Then we've got this Willis Jeep from 1943. Beautiful, beautiful old Bentley. This is a 4-litre supercharged 1930. This car has appeared on the covers of many, many books. I remember when I was a child coming here, when we even talking with my father, and sort of thing that I would like to have owned, I think. But less keen on it these days. They're very hard to drive, that sort of thing. And then there's this thing here, which is a car from a Mr. Toad film, which just looks sort of generic. I wonder what on earth they actually based that on. I don't know. Well, we've got this Austin 12 Clifton that looks a bit like Gumdrop, doesn't it? Wasn't he one of those? And then we've got this 72 MGB Roadster, which is actually in, I think, Blaze Red it is, and you can actually win it in a competition as well. So then we've got this Sunbeam record-breaking car. It's having some maintenance at the moment. Let's have a look and see exactly what year this is. I always forget the 1,000 horsepower Sunbeam. It's 1927, so this car's 99 years old. Look at the engineering of this from 1927. I mean, a Benz Vila, which was not the first car, but one of the sort of earlier types of car. This is from 1898. So, gosh, that's coming up for 130 years old. And then we've got Choo Choo Bang Bang. Now, there's lots of different Choo Choo Bang Bang replicas, or several, 4 original cars used in the film. I can actually say with that one where that sort of lies. I've been in touch with a chap who actually built one of the replicas a few years ago. He lives in Cadnam. 1914 Sunbeam 1216 horsepower. 1914 Vauxhall Prince Henry. That's what Vauxhall used to look like over 110 years ago. I'd say they're probably more stylish then. Rolls-Royce 440/50 Alpine Eagle. Beautiful version of Silver Ghost. This is R1909 is a very, very, very famous car. The actual body only dates from 1961. It's beautiful. Lon Montague bought it very early on in the Life Museum in 1954. 1968 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. It does look very, very shiny and nice. I want to drive one of those actually at some point in my life. I've driven a Silver Spare, but not a Silver Shadow. We've got a Rolls-Royce Phantom 2 from 1933. This thing's enormous, isn't it? It's absolutely huge. You have to be a very, very wealthy person to actually even entertain the notion of having one of those. These days they're actually not that expensive. It's really strange. They don't really cost much money. There's a Daimler from 1899. Doesn't look that comfortable actually. And then an Argyle from 1913. One of the earliest cars with four-wheel brakes. It's a pretty good idea to have four-wheel brakes. That's a pretty good idea. A Cadillac from 1903. Looks a bit different from the Cadillac Lyric, doesn't it? Especially with this exposed radiator. And that's a Renault. Yes, it's only got 1 3/4 horsepower. If you were doing London to Brighton Run in that view, I don't think you'd be doing it very fast at all. It's a 1-cylinder engine with 273 cc's. That is absolutely insane. I wonder if that's tricky to drive. It probably is. What is this little thing here? A Knight from 1895. My gosh. There's absolutely no comfort whatsoever. Model T, was it one of the Model T vans advertising a Baker's in Southampton. I think the factory for these was in Manchester, wasn't it? Trafford. Then we've got this this taxi. This actual taxi appeared in an episode of The Avengers in 1967 called the C3 Man. It's a 1908 French Unique 1214 horsepower. And you see, yes, it's C3 Man, which was broadcast in 67. Although there was a day of filming they did it back down in Beaulieu at Palace House, because this building didn't exactly exist at the time. They filmed, I think it was 3 different cars. One of them was the R1909 Silver Ghost. One of them was this, and then there's a 2-seater car. I can't remember what it is as well. But there we go. A little vignette filmed with Patrick McNee and Dinah Rigg in September of 1966. Just over there. Next you've got this Auburn Speedster. This is a very, very nice looking car. Beautiful looking car. It's a shame Auburn sort of failed, rather like Duesenberg and Cord. That is a very, very attractive car. But the only problem is that really at the time, it's the middle of the Great Depression, and then after that came the war and things, and stuff like this just wasn't really very popular. It's a real shame. Another Wrangler Super. And the orange, yeah, based on a mini platform. They're really terrifying to drive though. I don't really want to have a go in that. That's nice, isn't it? Sierra RS Cosworth hatch from 1986. It's probably one of the most valuable cars in the collection. Forget the Rolls-Royce Phantom 2. The real money's in the Sierra RS Cosworth. Crazy thing. 204 horsepower. There's the outspan orange. You've got to be really careful when calling this, it just doesn't roll over. So this Super's a bit more power than the standard one. 49 horsepower. Wow. From a same engine as the Cortina actually, but we saw earlier the Mark 1 Cortina, same engine. Allard Chrysler Dragster. I didn't realise Sidney Allard had made stuff after the mid-50s. Clearly he did. What size of that? Ford GT40. Now these are very, very rare actually. You see far more replicas of these than you do real ones. That's a 67. And then we've got a Porsche 917K from 1969. Probably a rival to one of those, I imagine, although I don't know exactly. Right, I think that's it for this part. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below, and we shall see you in the next part for some more incorrect information.